these wishes you just shared and that you're sharing, I bet you will most likely die inside of you, empty and unfulfilled, because you have never learned how to do something as easy and as simple as making a lot of money. I want you to write your name and say, I, Aaron, the world needs me rich. Put your own name there and make that declaration. I, put your name, the world needs me rich. And I bet this. How many of you were uncomfortable just writing that down? Remember, this is engagement. We're engaging one another. I want you to be honest. How many of you were uncomfortable just writing that the world needs me rich? And honestly, you see, the first time I made this statement, I was uncomfortable. So well done to all of you that were not uncomfortable. And I was uncomfortable. And the reason why many of us find it hard to talk about money or uncomfortable talking about money is because we don't have money. The reason why we're uncomfortable not talking about money is because we don't have money. So I was uncomfortable talking about money, and I still catch myself from time to time in my beliefs, struggling with it from time to time. The idea of the world needing people rich is fairly easy to grasp. The idea of the world needing you rich is fairly easy to grasp. It's an easy idea to accept that the world needs people to become rich. But the question I want to ask today is this: do you believe it for you that the world needs you rich? Do you? Do you believe it for you? You can believe it for Jeff Bezos. You can believe it for so many other people. You can believe it for Elon Musk. You can believe it. But the question is, do you believe it for yourself that the world needs you rich? You can believe it for Bill Gates. You can believe it for Jeff Bezos. And is it really possible that I could be one of those people? I could be one of those names. Is it really possible that I could be one of the names like the Jeff Bezos and all those people who are called? Is it really possible that I could be one of those people that the world really needs to be rich? Why does the world need rich people? Why does the world need rich people? When you think about it, we all know and accept it that the world does need rich people. The world does need rich people, don't we? If you think about it, the rich people pay majority of the tax, right? They make great, pretty significant, meaningful donations, right? They pay majority of the tax. They do things that change the world. Most people put a few bucks in the basket when the offering bag comes around. How many of you when the offering bag comes around, right? That's how and then you shake it up. But you see what? The rich people, a rich person would write a check and a building would appear. A rich person will write a check and a hospital wing would appear. A rich person would write a check and the cancer word would appear, will become manifest. A rich person would write a check and fresh water rises from the ground. Moms and dads go to sleep today without a concern about polio or some other diseases from the continent that I'm from, because somebody got rich and then used that money to pay and have the antidote produced and distributed around the world. That was the story of Bill and Melinda Gates. Is somebody listening to this? Is this getting you blessed? Gates did that single-handedly. Mr. Bill Gates and the wife single-handedly wiped out polio from Africa. He pretty much did that because he's rich. So the world needs him rich. There would be lots of dead babies today, and possibly including myself, if not for someone like Bill Gates. There will be lots of people living with polio today. Had Bill and Melinda Gates not gotten rich, had they not been giving their money away, no doubt the world needed them rich. And that's what I'm asking. But what about you? Why does the world need you rich? Think about it for a minute. Everybody hold your breath for a minute. Why does the world need you rich? Eva and all the names I've read, Abe, why does the world need you rich? And listen, I want you to get a vision that you're going to share with us quickly. And I don't mean have a vision of a fancy car, a Lamborghini, a big house, and da. This is not that vision exercise. We can do a vision exercise on another day. But why does the world need you rich? I'm talking about something that's much more important than that. I'm talking about using your God-given potential to be an agent of change in the world. Now, question for everybody. Are you with me? Let me see a yes again in the chat box. Are you with me? Are you with me? What if you were rich? And what do I mean by rich? Why? Why don't we start with an amount? Let's start with an amount. We can think about any amount in pounds. Let me get you thinking. Let me get you thinking this through in a different way. What would it take? What would it take? And I want you to just think into this. If you were to just, listen guys, if you were just to take your annual income and turn it into your monthly income. We're not talking millions, guys. We're not talking millions. We're not talking wealthily rich. We're not talking Mr. Mayowa type of rich now. I'm saying, what would it take for you, listening to me, if you can just take your annual income and make it your monthly income? Would that be a good idea? Think about your annual income quickly. Think about your monthly income. Think about your annual income. And just think about if in the next 1 year, I can just make my annual income my monthly income. How many of you think that will be a good idea? If you think it's a good idea, type in good idea. Yes to that. I want my annual income as my monthly income. Come on, go. Do you think that's a good idea? We're not even talking billions. We're talking, can we just even begin to make our annual income our monthly income? How many of you think that's a good idea? Good idea, good idea. Let me see, good idea. Just to make your annual income. Good idea, good idea. How many of you believe you can at least make your annual income your monthly income? Your annual income, your monthly income. All of you are saying good idea, good idea, good idea. Yes, good idea, great idea. So, we want to take it in steps. We're not even talking about jumping into billions and jumping into millions. Just over the next 1 year, if you and I can at least commit to saying, let's just even make our annual income our monthly income. And guess what? Mr. Mayowa is going to be giving you an opportunity at this summit to be able to learn how to do that. At this summit, he's going to give you an opportunity where he would help you, where he's set up or put a program together that will just even help you move your annual income, an annual income to your monthly income. How many of you think that's a good idea and you're going to take that? Good idea for you to move your annual income to your monthly income. How many of you, when he announces that opportunity, how many of you will take that? How many of you will take that? How many of you will take that idea? Just this thought of over the next 1 year, let's even commit to our annual income becoming our monthly income. So think about it. Think about it. Do you make 30K? Do you make 40K? Do you make 50K? Do you even make maybe 80K, 100K, 70K, 90K, 100K a year? Just think about this for a second. Can you think about making your annual income every month? I am here to get your minds elevated. The whole purpose of this weekend is to take your mindset to a whole new level. Listen, if you're going to be rich, you have to think like the rich. You have to think like the wealthy. So we want to get our minds elevated. I know you earn 100K, but what is wrong with you earning 120K a month? You're earning 50K. Why can't you earn 50 times 12 a month? Whatever it is that you're earning, whatever it is you're earning, just imagine, instead of making 30K, you make 360K a month. It's possible. It's possible. Instead of making 48K, you make 480K a month. Why not? Why not? Maybe whenever you're talking about millions or 1.2 million a year, but why not? Think about it. That's a lot of money, isn't it? How many of you think that's a lot of money? If you took your annual income and now made it your monthly income, do the maths. So we're not talking of stupendous wealth. You do the maths. Do the maths. If you just earned that for just 2 years, I hope you're following me. If you just earned your annual income as your monthly income just for 2 years, most people would absolutely be completely debt-free. Do you believe that? Just only earning your annual income, make it your monthly income just for 2 years. Most people will become completely debt-free. No school loans, right? No mortgages. One of my friends just paid off his mortgage. No mortgages, no car payments. So imagine you're debt-free. Then what do you now do? So, right, we're taking it step by step. What do you now do? Your mortgage is paid. So let's take this in steps. Your mortgage is paid off. Your cars are paid off. Your children's school fees and all that taken care of to university level or whatever it is. You've put some money in for whatever businesses they want to do. What else do you do with money? No school loans, no mortgages, no car payments. So imagine yourself debt-free. Then what do you do? First of all, I would imagine you would go out and buy yourself some cool stuff, right? You know, buy yourself a nice car, buy yourself another house, cash down. Then what do you do next? Maybe spoil the people you love, you care about, right? Then what next? What could you then do that would even be more meaningful than that? Think of this. And I would ask you, if you just had, guys, remember, I'm not talking millions. I'm not talking millions. I'm not talking billions. I'm not talking millions. I'm not talking hundreds of millions. We're just talking your annual income as your monthly income. If you just had, every one of you on this call, if you just had an extra 100K just to play with me, guys, an extra 100K. You're not paying your mortgage. You're not paying anything. Just an extra 100K just to play with. Take this question for what it's worth. If you had an extra 100K per month, pounds just to play with. In other words, all of a sudden your debts are free, you're debt free, your home is paid off, your student loan is paid off, health insurance, you've taken care of your parents, you've taken care of your children, your kids are set, you've given to all the charities in the world that you've always wanted to give. You've just got this extra 100,000 that you play with on a monthly basis. How many of you would give it away to even more charities or seek to help a cause? Go ahead in the chat box and put a yes if that's what you're likely to do. You would just an extra 100K, just now, we're not even talking millions, just an extra 100K. How many of you would give it away to even more charities? You see someone said, I will travel the world. Every single person's hand goes up, right? Come on, how many of you would do that? Yeah, set up a charity organization, right? Somebody says yes. Right? Every single person, help my community touch more lives. You see, every single person has something they would do. Yes, set up charities. Come on, go on. Tell me, just an extra 100K, What would you do differently? And that's the same question I want to ask you. Now, I want you to type in, like some of them have started typing. If you just had wealth, you had money, tell me in the chat room, what will you do with that money? Go on, let me read some great courses. I want you to tell me some great courses. Tell me, what would you do with an extra 100, an extra million? If you're playing along with me right now, somebody said reinvest, okay? Just write the names of the charity, build businesses, build churches. Come on, foundation to help the community. Come on, tell me, just giving back is liberating. I love that. Giving back is liberating. I will travel and have some rest. Okay, come on. Where would you give your money? What would you support? What would you do with it? I would want to support single parents who are struggling. Can you see? I would invest in my local community. I would travel and have some rest. I would want to support, who else? I would give to charities and the expansion of the kingdom of God. You see that? Surely I would impact more young people. What would you do with it? Go ahead, tell me. And what would you do with it? I mean, if you would spend it on helping people, who would you? And then in second, people start mentioning, I have people who are talking about building children's homes, building local communities, scholarship for students, light up my country with solar panel foundation, give back, boost up my local community health center in Nigeria. You see all that? Some people want to stop sex trafficking, help the kingdom of God, invest in the kingdom of God, provide education to others, give a lot to mental wellness. Can you see that? Support children with special needs. I would help the needy, pay people, build mega businesses, help the less fortunate. Wow, amazing stuff. Churches, orphanages. Do you know what? The sad part and the sad thing about this is, and I know you're thinking, what can be sad about people sharing their heart? Well, they are sharing what they would give, and that's the sad part. In other words, the sad part is that they have a heart. Everyone who is here, you have a heart to give, but you've never learned how to be able to earn the money to give out of your heart. You have the heart to give, but you've never learned how to earn the money to give out of your heart. So those wishes and desires, that unlived love and potential will most likely die inside of you empty. These wishes you just shared and that you're sharing, I bet you will most likely die inside of you empty and unfulfilled, because you have never learned how to do something as easy and as simple as making a lot of money. You have not learned how easy it is to just make a lot of money. All this stuff you have shared, you will die empty because no one has taught you how simple it is to make a lot of money. And if you are on this summit, over 1,000 people on this group, and you leave this event without signing up to learn how to, there is no way we can teach you all of that on this summit. But like I said, Mr. Mayo is going to share with you a way during this program. But listen, because nobody has taught you, many of you know how to earn money. That's why you go to work. That's why you have a job, to earn money. There's a difference between earning money and a difference with making lots of money. Two different things. Everybody knows how to earn money, but nobody teaches you how to actually make lots of money. You see, if you're earning, let's say 30, 40, 50K a year, if you're earning 70, 80K, 90K, 100,000, you learned how. And you know how to earn money. You learned how to earn money, but you've not learned how to make money. You've not learned how to make a lot of money. You've learned how to earn money. Two different things. Two different things. You just never learned how to multiply earning money. In other words, you figured out how to make 30K a year. You figured out how to make 50K a year and you stopped. You figured out how to make 90K a year and then you stopped learning how to do it 12 more times. Is somebody listening? You figured out how to do it one time in 12 months. And I'm going to suggest to you that you don't stop to think about how to do it at least 11 times. Most people just never learn how to multiply earning money. And I'm learning that myself in this season. And I'm learning it from people. I am paying a heavy price. I'm hanging around the likes of Mr. Mayo. I'm invested in a lot of mentors and coaches. And I'm learning how to begin to multiply my earning power, how to begin to multiply earning money. And I'm learning that myself. And I'm hoping that you will walk away from this summit, from this challenge, and plug into how you can learn to multiply your money. Buy into the idea that the world needs me rich. Why is it that most people, 99% of people, learn how to reach a certain income as an annual number and never significantly earn more? Why does that happen? They may earn $250,000 in a year, but never earn 500,000 extra in a year, or never earn 2 million in a year. They may earn 300,000 in a year, but never learned how to make 2 million in a year. They stop. And it's obvious that they have had the desire to earn more. And if they had, they could be agents of change in the world. In other words, they can do so much good. So you have to ask yourself why they didn't learn it. And I'm going to tell you why. You know why? No one taught them. The world needs you rich. The world needs you rich. The world needs me, Aaron T. Aaron Rich. What are you waiting for? Guys, there are children that are dying. There are women that are being abused. There are animals that are suffering. There are diseases that are being spread. Look at what is going on with COVID. The government doesn't have a solution. But if people like us, just 200 of us here and 1,000 on this, came together with our wealth and sponsored scientists and even built hospitals, turned the stadiums to places where people can get help. That's why the world needs us rich, because the government doesn't have a solution. And a major part of my mission is to inspire people to stop settling for less and to up their games and to reach and dig deep inside of themselves. When you're working on a dream, at some point in time, a transition will take place. And the transition is what you're becoming in pursuit of your dream. That's what the transition is. The transition is who you become. That's the whole purpose of having a dream or a goal. It's not to get the dream or the goal. It's the purpose of the dream or goal is that you become that person in the pursuit of a dream. You actually become so strong. You become so powerful. You become so empowering to your own life and the people around you. You can look at yourself and see, well, think I'm going to go and do this. And because you have now developed yourself in growth, in your personal development, in your mindset at such a level of confidence, and you now have competence in how to deal in whatever arena of life you find yourself. And once you really begin to discover yourself and discover who you are, you begin to grow on the inside. You discover not just who you are, but whose you are. Then you really realize that you have been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth.